Good morning, class. We're from group 10, 11, and 12, and we're going to present about population. So we're going to start off from family profile, generations comparison, and population analysis. We hope that you can learn something out of our presentation. Thank you. My profile is I am the first child with two younger brothers. All of my siblings are biological ones. The elder one, named Michelle, is 15 years old and is in his freshman year of high school. In addition, Ayas, the youngest, is 13 years old and currently in his second year of junior high school. We all live together in our parents' house in central Jakarta. My mother only have one biological younger brother who have a 13 years age gap from her. He is married and already have one baby son. He has been living in my mother's hometown, Cirebon, for decades. On the contrary, my father is the only son and the fifth child out of six. Two of his older sisters already have two children, both a son and a daughter. Most of my father's siblings live in my grandmother's house in East Jakarta. However, the third child moved away and apparently live in Depok. My grandmother is the second child out of seven, which are biological and includes two sons and five daughters. Six of them are females, two of them are males. One of her sisters died at the age of 65 due to stroke. Some of them have migrated to Jakarta to pursue their career, while the others live in their hometown Banyumas to follow their spouses. To my perspective, I want to get married anytime in the future when I am financially stable. However, I won't have any kids until my early 30s because I want to pursue my career and explore the world with my spouse beforehand. I think having two kids is a good fit. One biological one and the other is adoptive one because I could maximize my parenting time as well as make an effort for them. I want to live in the Europe or the United States before I have kids in order to broaden my global career opportunities.
I am the oldest out of three. I have two younger biological siblings. The older is a boy and the younger is a girl. They are still in junior high school and only a year apart, so people tend to view them as twins because of how close their age gap is. And we also live together in the same house. My dad has two biological siblings, one older brother that has two sons and is not married. He also had a younger brother that already passed away back in 2005 because of cancer. My mom has three biological siblings, one younger sister and two younger brothers. Her sister hasn't gotten married and has no children, and two of her brothers have two children each. From my dad's side, my grandfather has six siblings, including three sisters and three brothers. He had passed away in 2001 because of stroke. Meanwhile, my grandmother has nine siblings, two brothers and six sisters. She had passed away in 2002 due to cancer. They have three children. From my mom's side, my grandfather has five siblings, three sisters and one brother. Meanwhile, my grandmother has three younger sisters. She had passed away this year. They have four children together. Yes, I do want to get married one day when I'm well off financially and mentally. Personally, I want to have one child because it's better for my economy and also the Earth's population. But who knows if my partner wants other options, because at the end of the day, I'm not the one that has to carry a baby inside of me, and if we do not choose to adopt. But if I were to have a choice in choosing their sex, I would like to have a daughter because I like girl toddlers more than boys because they are less annoying. And I get along with them better.
I am the firstborn child out of three children. I have two younger biological siblings, a younger brother and a younger sister. Three of us are still students. I am in the university, my brother is in junior high school, and my sister is in primary school.
We all live in the same house in Bintan. My mother is the first child out of 3 children. She has a younger brother and a younger sister. They are biological siblings. All of them are still complete and all of them are already married. Her younger brother has 2 children and her younger sister have 3 children. They all live in the Jakarta area.
My grandmother is the third children out of 8 children. 4 of them are female and 4 other are male. All of them are biological siblings. 3 of her siblings have died because of sickness, and 1 of them died because of an accident. All of her siblings live in the Jakarta area.
In the future, I want to get married after I got financially stable and my mind is stable and ready for the married life. I think I'll have 2 kids in the future, and from that I think I could raise them well and provide them with a good life, health, and education. Maybe after marriage, I'll still live in Jakarta, so it's easier for me to still meet my parents even though I have a new family.
I am the third of 4 children. I have 2 big sisters and 1 little sisters. We are all daughters by blood. As a student in dentistry, my first sister is finishing up her job as a co-assistant. My second sister works as a human resource worker for a real estate company right now. I'm a freshman in college and my major is communication science. While my little sister is still in the 3rd grade at her elementary school, we all live in Tibet, which is in South Jakarta. We are still fully present. My mother is the second of 3 children and the only girl. She has 2 brothers and one older and one younger. All of them are related by blood. All of all of her siblings are still alive and doing well. On the other hand, my father has a big family. My dad is the third of 8 children. All of them are related by blood, and all of his siblings are still alive and doing well. My grandmother is the first of 3 children. I know that having a modest number of children was unusual in the past, but my grandmother's family does. She has one younger sister, and the youngest sibling is a male. My grandfather's family, on the other hand, had a large number of siblings. Totaling 8, my grandfather is the second sibling. I'm not quite sure if I want to have kids in the future, but I do want to get married when I'm in my mid 20s and when I am financially capable. We might wait a year after getting married before having kids, and we'll figure out the rest of the plan later. I think that as a new generation, we tend to think twice about having kids because we know how hard it is to take care of kids and meet their physical and spiritual needs with the right amount of knowledge. This is what makes us refrain from having kids. In the future, I intend to live overseas with my spouse. I wanted to travel the world and live in other countries such as Ottawa, Canada. Why did I select Canada? Because Canada is such a diverse country, and I believe that if I do have children, it will be ideal to raise them there.
I'm Kibar and I'm the second born out of 3 siblings. My older brother is currently studying films and movies in the Institute Kesenian Jakarta. My little brother just got in primary school this year, and me myself as an undergraduate communication student of Universitas Indonesia. We all live together in Tanjung Barat with our parents. My dad is the oldest child out of 5. He has 3 little brothers and 1 little sister. He's the only one that lives in Jakarta. The rest of them are currently living in my hometown, Sumbawa. My mother is the second child out of 2. Her older sister lives in Bandung because they are originally from there. My mom moves to Jakarta only after marrying my dad. On my dad's side, my grandfather is the last born out of 21 siblings. The oldest one alive is the third one. My grandmother from my father is the third born out of 4, but sadly she already passed away 5 years ago because of cancer. From my mom's side, my grandfather is the firstborn out of 3, and my grandmother is also the firstborn out of 3. They both had passed away before I was born, and they both died because of heart disease. In the future, I want to get married as soon as I feel I am capable to take care of my soon-to-be wife. I am not the type of person that likes to spend my time by myself, so I think I'm gonna be marrying at a young age. I don't think that I have to be financially successful to get married because I believe that there will always be a way if you are serious enough. So as soon as I'm sure of the girl I want to marry, I will do it immediately. As for children, I always wanted to have a daughter, but I don't plan on having kids as soon as I am married. Maybe in a few years after marriage, accordingly to my wife's decision. I want to live a simple life in Jakarta with my family. I don't think that other countries would fit the lifestyle that I have lived all this time, and I don't want to be far away from my parents. I want to have a peaceful and modest life with my little family somewhere around South Jakarta. I'd love to travel around Indonesia by car with my family. Backpacker type of traveling is fun for me.
Based on the descriptions of all group members 10, 11, 12, compare between generations of grandparents, generations of your parents, their siblings, your current generation and future generations, your hope. To compare, use key concepts related to fertility, mortality, migration, and others. Fertility is the incidence of childbearing in a country's population. Demographers describe fertility using the crude birth rate. Mortality is the incidence of death in a country's population. Demographers measure mortality using both the crude death rate and the infant mortality rate. Crude birth rate is the number of live births per 1,000 persons in a population in a given year. Crude death rate is the number of fatalities per 1,000 individuals in a population in a given year. Urbanization is the concentration of population into cities. Urban ecology is the investigation of the relationship between a city's physical and social aspects.
Does fertility show a certain pattern? Compare it with national statistical data. The Central Statistics Agency and the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and Child Protection recently published a study on the population's age range of 0 to 17 years, which looked at its size and trend patterns. In 2016, there were 83.4 million children, or 32.24% of Indonesia's population. This circumstance continues to be an advantage for Indonesia's population. The percentage of children in Indonesia is expected to remain relatively stable throughout the coming years. As a result, children makes up roughly 1/3 of Indonesia's population. The population of Indonesia is expected to grow from 2016 to 2022 before starting to fall in 2023 when it will be between 84.323,000 and 84.032,000.
Question 2. What patterns in migration are you seeing? Who is migrating? Age, gender, destination of migration, etc. Compare those from national statistic to migration in general. Based on our current best assessment of available sources, net migration was estimated to be in the region of 239,000 in the year ending June 2021. There is a degree of uncertainty around today's figures, but this represents a small decrease from the year ending June 2020, which is 260,000. We are able to draw the conclusion from the statistic that the number of migrants is on the decline. I believe that the breakout of COVID-19 is one of the causes that is contributing to the decrease in the number of migrants. The COVID-19 outbreak, which began in the year 2020, is having a significant influence on the economy. The migrant procedure require a significant amount of funding, despite the fact that the economy has been harmed by the outbreak. Because of the outbreak, we can clearly identify the pattern of migration liability.
So this prompt is questioning how anyone has been affected by the pandemic and who they are, cause of death, gender, age, and we need to look for the data taken from many sources and also from our experience and our family members that has been affected by the pandemic. Based on CNN Indonesia, COVID-19 is only the third leading cause of death since 2020. In fact, heart disease still remains the number one cause of death in the world, ahead of COVID-19. But still, COVID-19 is the reason why mortality is increasing in the midst of the pandemic. In post-World War II and Great Depression, a lot of people wanted to start a family with huge amount of children. That is why our grandparents have a lot of siblings. This phenomenon became the term for our grandparents' generation since they are the product of it, which is called the baby boomers. Most of our grandparents migrated from their village to go to the city in hoping to find better opportunities. Sadly, a lot of them has passed away today because of old age and their sickness that came with it. Our grandparents lived in a society where they grew up in a patriarchal world world and very much conservative, which hinders them to experience freedom and liberty. Thank you for watching our presentation. I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, please discuss it in class. Thank you.